Gustavo, great to have you. Welcome to the Amazing Next Generation Marketeers series. Really happy to have you here. Your life journey has been very interesting. So, why don't we start with you sharing how you got into influencer marketing?
First of all, thank you for having me as well. I think I started working. Well, I start with my own YouTube channel. I was used to make content about the League of Legends, the Riot Games game, like guides, and stuff like that. Then I started making interviews with rioters and people from the scene. And I also got to start working on my personal social media as like my personal brand. Uh, that led to me joining Riot Games a few years later. And the journey working with social media and influencers, you eventually start to know like a lot of influencers, right? YouTubers or streamers or whatever. And I noticed after a few years that were a lot of people working on social media and not a lot of people doing influencer marketing. So I decided to kind of like change the path of my career into more like the influencer side instead of like social media. So yeah, after a few years, here we are, going better than expected, honestly. So yeah.
Interesting. And you come from Mexico, right? So,
No, I'm originally from Argentina.
all right, yes.
Yeah. Then I moved to Chile with Riot and to Mexico and then to Spain.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, right. Got it,
Hmm.
got it. Okay, interesting. And how has your role shaped up as an influencer marketeer over time in the last few years? Have there been any significant changes, or you really jumped into the bandwagon when TikTok and YouTube and Instagram were
Yeah.
already popular?
Well, I think when it comes to the actual work, it was easier a few years ago compared to now. Back then there
Hmm?
wasn't like not a lot of things to measure. Like it was more about getting exposure, right? And you had the company was like, hey, get some money and give me some views, right? More so. But right now there are like many KPIs to involve and much more like content creators are there as well. So naturally you have to take like more time to look for the right profiles instead of just going with someone because they have like a lot of followers. To me personally, it was easy to make that transition because I'm a user of the social medias that I'm working with. So it's not like I have to force myself to use TikTok in order to understand it, because I make TikTok videos as well, and I'm a TikTok consumer. So that transition, it was quite easy. But yeah, I wasn't prepared at first to actually get involved into the return of investment that is involved now, and a lot of different stuff that was quite easier like a few years ago. But I think it's like trying to catch up.
I definitely agree with all the new platforms coming in, people coming up with new matrices to evaluate. Recently, there's been boom of like cost related matrices, earned media value, cost per view, cost per engagement. And now people have
Yeah,
started focusing on those matrices and reducing those. So yeah, definitely there's like a boom in the KPIs that has to be
absolutely.
evaluated, which brings me to my next question. Like, what are the top three KPIs you as an influencer marketer believe in? Like, these are the
Yeah.
things that should be evaluated.
Yeah. I think it really depends on what you're looking for, actually, or what your brand or your company is looking for. If you're just looking for exposure and engagement and getting your brand out there, then I think the return of investment it's not going to be like a high priority number you want to measure. Although it's important to not burn money for fun, of course, right? You just don't want to spend money for the sake of it. You have to actually prove that it's making some sort of like coming back on views, on engagement, on free signups or whatever. But I think there's plenty of examples of big companies or big brands not caring a lot about the return of investment. But if I had to choose three, I would say like a conversion rate, engagement, and return of investment. Yeah, as the main three.
Has there been any memorable influencer campaign you have worked on that really stands out in your experience?
When it comes to results, you're saying, or anything in
Could be
specific?
anything, interesting
Yeah.
stories, negative results, but very good learnings, like that pops up in your
Yeah.
head. What
Well,
that was
I,
interesting.
I I do remember one from a few years ago that I'm not sure if I'm able to share like the results, because
Okay.
the company is still up there. But the thing I learned is that
Mhm.
you don't have to underestimate your influencers, right? Because a lot of people, especially like older people, they're like, no, these guys like never work in their life. They're just making YouTube videos. But at the end of the day, nobody knows the audience from this influencer better than this influencer itself, right? So to me, I'm always having fun with them at the time of creating the content because I want them to make sure I want to make sure that we're like delivering the right message, but at the same time, I don't want to mess with the tone they're using when speaking with their audience, right? So to me, that's not like a memorable memory or whatever. But the
Learning
best results
experience.
I had, yeah, definitely the best results I had is when I'm letting them do whatever they think is better for their audiences. Yeah, and the bad result actually, it was like this. I thought that I could take care of everything, like the video and the voice and everything, and it turned like it didn't work basically because I didn't know the market or the content creator, their audience, the niche, whatever. So yeah, don't believe in yourself that much will be my learning from this.
No, definitely. When it comes to influencers, sometimes people forget, especially if you are running large campaigns, you people should focus on, even if you have 100 influencers as part of your campaign, are they all having the right target audience broadly, or
Yeah,
you're just reaching out to just anyone and they are promoting a product which doesn't fit their audience in terms of demographics or interests or age groups. So
absolutely.
yeah, and then you bring up an interesting point like language, tone, how they talk, scripting, and all those things also get important. And you never know
Yeah,
when
social
things can get
background
wrong.
and many more.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
yep, definitely. So how do you structure your influencer marketing efforts? Is there a certain approach you take, let's say in your current role? How do you go about planning a campaign or initiating influencer marketing efforts at Proton?
Yeah. I would say, if you're like new on this and you're working on a startup, then you have to mentally prepare to do a bit of everything because you will have to make the outreaching and you will have to deal with them, to negotiate with them, or even worse, with their managers. With sometimes it can be like really tricky to find like a sweet spot with them. But you do have to take ownership in every single step of the influencer marketing process with the creators. To me, once you go big, maybe not big, like medium, it's fine to look for agencies to handle the micromanagement, if you want to say, so you can focus on the bigger panorama and the whole strategy. Um, but yeah, that's what I really like about the switching to influencer marketing is that no day is the same that the day before, and you're constantly learning something new, right? It's to me super like fun, like getting paid to having fun. Even if it doesn't sound like fun, sometimes it's not that fun, honestly. But overall, I rather this. Yeah,
Yeah. No, have to love what you're doing. No, but it's really fun. I
yeah.
had growth at missing. At times there can be a lot of things to manage, but it's always fun. Every day there are new challenges, new learnings, new problems to solve, new systems to automate.
You never get
Yeah,
bored.
lots of interesting things. Yep, no, never
Yeah.
get bored. Never. So are there any go-to software tools you are using for your campaigns, or anything that you use? Or
Yes,
it's
I normally use. Can I say the name of the
yeah, yeah,
tools?
yep,
Okay, so I
absolutely.
normally use stream charts for Twitch, YouTube, and any platform that you can potentially stream on. It's really cool. It has like a lot of different information you can get. It's a bit expensive, so if you get like your manager to give you the money for the platform, it's super cool. But if you don't, you can always use like I don't know, Social Blade as well for YouTube channels. But I think it's like completely up to you and your work methods. Like a lot of people still use Google Sheets to that, and it works. So to me, it's really up to you. There's a lot of platforms that are really easy to use, and it can really help you. But at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Yeah.
Hmm. So what are the toughest parts about managing influencer marketing at scale?
Sorry, the
Like
toughest part.
yeah, like what are your
Oh,
pain? Maybe we can start with your pain points. Like what are the pain points that you face currently in today's time when you are planning for an influencer marketing campaign? And
okay.
especially if it's a large scale campaign, are there any particular things that stand out as compared to
Okay, cool.
smaller
Yeah.
campaigns?
I'm going to answer both questions, the
Sure.
pain points and the other one. So when it comes to pain points, to me personally, I'm not like a numbers person. Like I don't understand numbers. To me, like three numbers and three letters are barely the same. I actually decide my high school, like my after high school career, based on which career was going to have the least amount of math, honestly, like 100% real. So to me, to this point, analytics and making reports and stuff like that is like a pain in the head. I really, really hate it, but just my personal take. And when it comes to the most difficult part, I would say is learn how to be pragmatic. You know, especially if you work in agencies or in
Mhm.
companies that you're gonna have like people from many different countries. You have to understand that for the background of the people you're speaking or the language or the culture, maybe I'm making a joke to you and you don't see it as a joke and maybe you get offended or you don't understand what we're talking. So you have to understand and to actually review your words and your pathing before joining in a meetup and actually, getting to a deal. Um, Especially for us that we're kind of like in Western countries, or me from South America, is really even more difficult because it's like completely different one country to another. Speaking with an agency from Japan, for example, or from Southeast Asia or the US or whatever, they have like such a different way of view the world. To me, that's the toughest part. Is the most interesting as well to understand how different everyone is. But yeah, you have to keep up with that. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more because in my past years working as a professional, I've probably worked with people from at least 70, 80 countries. And I can totally agree that if you talk to someone from Japan or Middle East or Europe and someone from Southeast Asia, there can be huge differences in how you
Yeah.
would want to initiate conversations, how you do negotiations, how you close the deals or just have a friendly chit chat with them. There are like very different ways culturally on how these people behave day to day, and that can be detrimental if you don't do it the right way for your
Yeah.
relationship with the influencers and for the brands as well sometimes. So yeah, that's a
And even,
very
sorry for like the last
yep, yep,
point, maybe you're not even like let's not even talk about closing a deal. Like even getting an answer from them can be like a huge
yep,
difference if you don't know how to
yes,
approach them. Yeah.
yep, yep. I've had experience with different cultures where just a straightforward message might not work. They trust their
Yeah.
friends more, people who are referring friend of friend, and you just can't build up that trust in a certain way you would do with someone from Europe as compared to building a relationship with someone from Japan or Southeast Asia. So
Yeah.
very
Definitely.
different, very different cultures and approaches. Yeah. So looking ahead, like what do you believe are the biggest opportunities and challenges for the influencer marketing agencies with how the tech is evolving, new tools are coming, new technology, machine-based
Oh.
text is coming. How do you see the
So
landscape?
yeah. So regarding opportunities, I think the market is growing bigger and bigger every day, and there's like a lot of new competitors starting, like new agencies or new brands or whatever, and that's a good thing in some way because it will push you to become like a better professional or to look for different ways to approach like the same problem, right? uh, at the same time, I think like globally, we are on a huge economic crisis, right? On the world is not going to an easy year. So our job is getting more and more ROI based, like return of his investment based, which is fine. But at the same time, I think the influencer marketing industry has a lot of cool analytics that you just can measure, right? Like if you make like a viral video, and a lot of those people like start talking with their friends and not using the link you prepare for that, you're never going to know if these people are coming from your huge viral video or if this just like a mouth-to-mouth thing, right? And at the end of the day, if you can measure that, you can prove that the campaign was a success in this moment we're living right now, in my opinion, at least. So I think we need to step up our game and keep creating the best content possible for everyone, because at the end of the day, that's everything you have under your control. And also, I think I don't know how old are you? Maybe like 20 something, right?
No, no, I'm 30 plus.
Oh,
I'm
you look
31.
you look younger, but even better, because we have the same age, most likely. So
Mm-hmm.
as we grow older, we need also to keep in touch with the younger generations, right, as well, because like we need to understand what they want from us and what they want from brands and from the influencers they consume, right? So the Gen Z people and the younger people are much more like aware of the brand game, if you want to say, like they like way more reliable consumers, and you have to go the extra mile to get that people on board, or to get at least 3 seconds of their attention. So to me, it's getting harder, but funnier, and it's honestly there's not much you can do about it. So deal with it, and if not, move on. So yeah.
Yeah. No, you definitely touched on a few very interesting points. First was how the trends are evolving with the younger generation, and us being 30 plus people, it's it's hard to keep up with the new trends coming up, and also to understand and plan for that. Like, you need to understand and get deep into what's working in today's generation in a specific context. Country to country also it varies a lot in different cultures, and then plan your campaigns and promote influencer marketing which would click with those
Yeah,
younger people if your product is of course focused to them. So definitely that plays a huge part, apart from the technological advancements that are happening with all the AI and machine based techs coming up. So there are multiple fronts which are evolving, and we have to keep up so that we can be still having a job.
we can keep our jobs, right?
Yeah, we can
In the
keep
long
our job.
term. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Great, great. I think that concludes our session. Thank you very much for your insights.